taking your time with it, it matters, right? And that's in the whole process of business. Don't go rushing this stuff because one, business is not an overnight thing. We're in this for the long haul. And two, as entrepreneurs, you're going to work the most you ever had in your entire life. You don't work, you don't eat. It's as simple as that. So don't go rushing and acting like you got to conquer the world tomorrow. One, it's not going to happen. And two, you're going to burn yourself out.
I just want to thank you and welcome you to Love Talk. Thank you for reaching out. I love your work. I love what you're doing. And I'm just glad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So as you know, it is all month long, we are supporting women. It's women supporting women here at Love Talk. And to have you on here is amazing. So y'all, this is Shalainna. She's a social media coach, a strategist, a creative evolutionary, like her shirt says. And she is the founder, CEO, creator of Social Boss Empire. So just tell us what Social Boss is before we really jump into things.
So Social Boss Empire is I'm a creative evolutionary. So I'm a creative director. And I own a social media management and digital marketing agency called Social Boss Empire. And what we do is take businesses and brands, we either put them online or revamp their online presence, and we elevate them to superb and evolutionary digital growth. I tell people all the time, I was able to leave my 9-to-5 with the power of Instagram and social media marketing. So in a very short amount of time. So social media is powerful in business and it really can take you to the next level if you know how to use it strategically.
Yes, and online social media is taking over. So yes, for business owners, it's very important that they get with the program because it's the new way of life. And before we really dive into the heart of today's conversation, what city and state are you tuning in from?
Yeah, so I'm from Houston, Texas. Shout out H-Town.
Houston. Yeah, okay. I met you at and once I saw you speak, I said I have to go follow her. Because first and foremost,
oh, thank you.
Out there, your confidence, your stage presence, the way you articulate is A1.
Thank
you. I knew that after you spoke, I was like, okay, who is this? Let me go find her, follow her,
right?
Connect with her. Now you're on Love Talk, so it's really means a lot that you're here. Yeah, okay.
Of course. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So you did tell us that you are the CEO of Social Boss Empire, but just let us know a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. So aside from being the CEO of Social Boss Empire, I am also a kidney patient. So I tell people also all the time, I founded my business, Social Boss Empire, on a dialysis chair. I am on dialysis. I need a kidney transplant. Aside from that, super cool, very approachable. Although I am social and I'm about my business, I'm also very humble, like modest. I love meeting people from all different backgrounds, all different personalities. I'm not a superficial character. It's just like I'm very much what you see is what you get. And most of the times what you see is what you like. So I vibe with pretty much anybody.
You do, and I love your vibe. Like I told you, I look at who is this? I gotta connect with her.
Period. Okay. I love it. I love yours too.
Let's talk about the journey a little bit. You are a social media, let's talk about how you got your social media start. So I was going through your page, going through your comments, going through everything. And I saw that you got your start by being a walking billboard for yourself. You were in Fiesta, correct me if I'm wrong, you were in Fiesta in the fruit, shopping for fruit. And
girl, you checked it out, didn't you now? Come on now.
So tell us a little bit about how being a walking billboard really got you into what you're doing now.
Yeah. So when I first got on the internet, I actually was a blogger, right? So one of my first, I guess, little things that gave me an inkling of the powerhouse and what social media could be was blogging. I was literally signing big brand deals with less than 800 followers. And so people were like, how are you getting like Under Armour deals? How are you getting this with this little followers? I'm like, it's not about that. It's about the relationship, what I'm saying, and how I'm converting. That's just like now I get some hate sometimes. People are like, how are you a social media manager? You got less than 3,000 followers, or this video only got 2,000 views. I'm like, yeah, but out of that 2,000 views, I had 100 orders. You got 50,000 views and no orders. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's not really about these vanity metrics. It's about the conversion. But anyway, started off blogging. Then I opened my first business, which was Wonder Women HTX. I started that on Instagram and didn't even know the power that it was going to have. It took off before I could catch it. Then COVID came. And we could travel less. I was taking groups of women all around the world. We were having a great time. So then COVID came, less travel. We had to put that on postpone, right? And I remember sitting on that chair, but before sitting on a dialysis chair and really, really figuring it out, I noticed that I was telling people, hey, I do social media management. I do social media management. Oh, I do your social media. It's nothing. And I didn't even notice what I was doing, right? I didn't know I was creating a whole business or anything. I was telling people that all the time, from Fiesta to Walmart to wherever. I remember being like, and even now, that's how I get some of my clients. I walk in somewhere and be like, who does the social media for this place? Like, you know, and people, they wonder. That's just like my shirt, right? It says evolutionary. People are always like, oh, evolutionary. I'm like, oh yeah. And I introduce myself because that's me, you know? So if people are inquisitive and want to know, why not? And being a walking billboard also entailed me being the approachable social person I am. I could pick up a conversation with nearly anybody doing anything, but I'm always, that's another, I guess, billboard moment of me just advertising my brand all the time. I make it a mission in any conversation I'm in to at least bring up the fact that I have my own business and see where the conversation goes from there.
And it usually, I know it usually, you know, people usually, they start getting inquisitive about it. So what do you do? Oh, let me, you know,
right.
Oh, and then they start needing your services. So that's why it's so important to advocate, yes, advocate for yourself, but be a walking billboard and always promote your own brand. And I said that the other day on a live, nobody promotes you like you promote you.
Right.
So important. And
that's absolutely number one.
I want us to take a quick time, a quick rundown right quick. Like I said, I was all under your pictures and everything, okay? So February 2020 was the new year. Everybody has new goals. In February, you started business brainstorming. In March was the pandemic, which we all suffered from. April, you had a business pivot. May, you were getting serious. June, Social Boss Empire launched. July 1st, the official SBE contract. August, the doubters became customers.
Period.
And the noise began to silence. So being that we all went through such a hard, difficult time with the pandemic, the whole world shut down. It was so unknown to all of us. Being that there were doubters, there were people questioning why you were doing something during a pandemic. People were saying probably, you know, all kind of things, you know, people say anything. So everything, despite the pandemic, despite the doubters, despite the self-doubt you may have had, how are you able to launch during the pandemic?
I listened to God because I feel like he already had been, and I'm no Bible reader, y'all. I'm not the perfect Christian, but God don't play about me, period. So, I feel like God had already been telling me, hey, you meant for more. You meant for more. I tell people, it's another thing all the time. I had a great job. I was a speech pathologist, making good money, doing what, you know, most people call the life. I was drained though. I hated it, right? I was good at it. I impacted a lot of children, but I hated it. And it was just so gruesome to go to work. Everybody was like, oh, you complaining, you make all this money. But until you're like miserable, it like, it's not worth it. Basically, it's not worth it. So I feel like God in my head was like, okay, well, I already gave you this gift so many times. It's like, when are you going to do it? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? I've gave it to you in different variations. You've seen the success you can have all types of ways using these platforms, and you're good at this, not just social media, but like a creative sense all in one. I'm giving you these ideas because sometimes I'll just brain dump on people, right? That'll ask me for creative sense, and they're like, how are you even thinking of this? I'm like, girl, I don't know. It just come in and out of there, right? So I listened to God for one, and I used a lot of, because I got a lot of hate, right? I got hate from people who were envious and thought that, oh, is she complaining? She already has a good position. Why is she complaining? I got hate from people who thought I couldn't do it. right? That said, oh, social media, you really gonna quit your job for social media? Like Instagram? I was like, I post more on Instagram than I do at work. So what's going on? What's going on? But nobody believed me. I had hate from people because I used to say in the beginning, and I still kind of stand by this to a certain extent, I don't have time for fun, right? I told people that. And people used to give me so much slack about it. They're, oh, you too good. You don't want to go to brunch no more. You don't want to do this. But I was so dialed in on the foundation of my business, and I'm still dialed in, right? I had to take the slack for that. So I just use that as motivation, in all honesty. I have really thick skin, so a lot of stuff doesn't bother me. I'm not invincible, so some things do. But I just took that as motivation, and it's always an internal thing for me. When people tell me I cannot, I'm gonna do it 10 times over, and that's just that on that,
Yes.
So yeah.
And
yes.
and I love what you said about you don't have time for fun, especially as a business owner, especially when you're just getting started or you're laser focused on your vision. It's so important that we remain focused. And an example of that, I don't know if you saw The Princess and the Frog, when Tiana was, she was always at work. She was working day in and day out, and her friends was like, Tiana, you come and dance tonight? And she was like, no, I gotta work, I gotta save up for my restaurant. Yes, and her friends were, like, oh, there she go again. That's normal. People are going to do that because they don't see our vision. And guess what? They're not
right. They don't.
Our
but
vision.
It's not for them anyway.
Yep, so, they're not supposed to see it. It's us. It's up to us, and I always say, it's up to us to paint that picture, and eventually people will see your painted picture. So I love what you said about how you were head down and you continue to do what you were doing. But for people who may be struggling, to the aspiring entrepreneurs, to the entrepreneurs that are new in business, that may be doubting themselves or allowing the doubt from other people to consume them, what advice or tips or encouragement can you give to those people?
Can I curse on here? No?
Be yourself.
Okay. So I have a motto that I go by, right? Is get on your shit, be on your shit, and stay consistent with your shit. And it's like, if you do that, right, all three of those, you're going to be okay. You're going to get all of the hate, right? I made an example just today on Facebook. I said, okay, in business, and I laid out some things that were abnormal for people to talk about. And one of the things was every business owner encounters several types of sharks, right? Some sharks come to bite with envy. They can't stand that you're doing what you're doing. Some sharks come to bite to steal, right? Because they want to copy it, or they're not innovative enough to do it for themselves. Some sharks bite just to get under your skin. They don't even want nothing from you. So they just biting just to bite, right? But you have to use your discernment, and you got to learn how to swim or swim. Like, that's it. It's as simple as that. So I feel like just being on your shit and being confident in that, and being consistent in that. And sometimes it's hard. Everybody has their moments. I'm no cookie cutter person that says, oh yeah, every day was easy. I woke up and I wrote down $1 million and I just manifested my way to, that's some baloney to me, right? It's going to be days where you don't feel it. And that's the days you have to push the hardest. It's days today, just even before Love Talk, right? I haven't been to sleep in 4 days, right? And I was like, oh my God, how? Like, how am I going to do all of this stuff? And it was up to me to fulfill, right? But I didn't feel like doing it. I could have dropped out of some things. And I'm not saying overexhaust yourself, but I am saying if you're going to show up for this shit and call it yours, then do just that. Show up for it and call it yours. Own your shit and be about it and be consistent.
Absolutely. I love it. And those words are needed because one thing I love that you said is that you're not going to feel like you're always doing it. But on those days you need to do it. I have those moments consistently. Right. Like, should I keep going with this? This is exhausting. This is tiring. I have kids. I have a husband, but I know what I want. So I keep my eyes on the prize and I fight. I fight myself sometimes, to get it done. So those are normal. Don't think that it's all perfect because you only see the good people post on social media. Okay.
Yes. And that's another thing. Can I say something, you guys? I put this on my page the other day and I want to reiterate for whoever is watching this. The worst compliment you could ever give me is saying, you're so perfect. I want to be just like you. When people say that, it almost disturbs me because I'm never trying to reflect perfection. I don't even believe in it. Nobody is perfect. Don't get sucked into the lie of perfection. It's not real. Nobody's perfect. So
nobody, not even Beyonce. Okay. And we're going to talk about Beyonce a little later in this conversation. But I want to talk about a segment that you had on your page called Ask the Empress, social media related question. Okay. And there were a couple questions, and I picked 2 questions that were under the comments. And I just want you to answer those questions here on the live. Okay.
Of course.
So, one person said, would you recommend posting daily for consistency, or is showing up in stories and engaging in posts good for being consistent and growing your audience?
So it really depends on what you're trying to do and what type of business you have. I tell people all the time, it depends. If you're e-commerce, I should see you daily on both. I'm not understanding why. You're selling a product, a physical product. You're trying to get it to move. A person needs 8 to 10 times on the eye before they even decide to buy. So I'm not understanding why you wouldn't show up consistently. If you have a more personal brand, sometimes showing up 3 times a day can get tiring. I'm not gonna lie, I do it, but I mean, this is where I work. But I always tell people, the more you show up with strategy, that's the key. Showing up with strategy. You could post 1 million times a day and be like, well, I'm showing up, right? But where's the strategy, right? So as long as you're showing up strategically quite a bit, then you're going to find success. But if you're showing up, but you're missing the strategy, it's not going to work. That's where a lot of people miss. It's not really about the quantity of posting. It's about the strategy behind it.
Yes, absolutely. Quality over quantity, right?
Yes, for sure.
And another question, the second question was, how do you get more followers and therefore more sales?
So I always answer this question the same. I cannot tell you how to get more followers because I don't go off of followers, but I can tell you how to get a traffic surge and increase within your business. Anytime somebody comes to me, it's like, I want more followers. I'm like, you might be in the wrong place because I'm not even focused on that, right? One, build relationships. It sounds so cliche, but it's mandatory. Anybody that I talk to online or that is supporting me the most, some of my highest paying customers were from relationships, word of mouth, and good rapport, right? I try to make myself familiar with my audience, what they do, who they are, be genuinely about them, because I hate people coming superficially to me acting like that. Like, I love that you went in and really found out about my business and really are able to ask me specific questions, because it shows me, hey, this person really connected with me, because I do the same, right? So just be genuine, have genuine relationships. Don't be scared to put yourself out there, right? Whether that's in DMs, comments, virtual conferences, whatever. Anytime you can put yourself out there and connect with another like-minded individual, do it. You don't even know who you're talking to sometimes, and vice versa. You're the prize too. They don't know who they're speaking with. You both can bring something to the table to help each other. All of this results in traffic surges and increase. Also, having actual good quality products and material. If you sell merch, make the merch good. Don't just go buy cheap stuff, slap something on there and put a price on it. Because you might sell a lot the first time, have returning customers. If you sell services, don't go over promising and under providing. Do what you say you're going to do. So as long as you operate in integrity with everything, with interaction and building relationships and within your business, you'll be okay. Integrity and gratitude will take you a long way.
Okay. Look, you just said a mouthful, and you do this stuff for a living. So how can somebody that needs to scale their business to another level connect with you so that they can do just that?
Sure. So we are in the process of a rebrand. Our website actually finishes, cross your fingers, you guys, within the next 10 days. But for right now, you can email me at socialboss.ceo@gmail.com, or you can click the link in my bio, book a discovery call, and we can chat about maybe how I can possibly help you, what services we offer, and things that may align with your business and brand to scale it. Majority of brands that I work with, not all, but majority, have scaled to 6 figures using social media. So let's talk.
Y'all make sure y'all hit her up, because guess what? She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. She's confident in what she does, and she can definitely help you scale your business to another level. Let's talk about social media a little bit more. What is the biggest social media mistake that you see for business owners?
Chasing overnight success, honestly. People get caught up in the Jadas, the Aries, the Kylie Jenners of social media, forgetting that these people have a big push of money. So they can obtain things tomorrow that you cannot. right? Or majority of us cannot. People also get caught up in the followers. I tell people all the time, and that's why I don't answer questions about followers directly like that, because with under 3,000 followers, I was able to leave my job, cash myself out, and I'm no baller, I'm no millionaire, but my bills are paid. You see what I'm saying, from these platforms. But I handle accounts with 600,000, 700,000 people, and these girls don't have any money. And I'm looking like, okay, well, you in a Ferrari in the last 3 pictures. I don't understand. People don't get it that people are living a life on social media. I know girls that I had to tell them, hey, you're going to have to not rent a Ferrari this week. You want to pay me for your services. I'm not understanding. They're renting Ferraris for 2 or 3 days, hours at a time, and taking pictures. And people are being bamboozled by this, right?
Wait,
also,
it gets that serious?
Listen, I've seen some things, sis. I've seen some things, okay? I have seen some real things, okay? And another thing, I feel like people lose sight of themselves on these platforms. The comparison game is the enemy, right? Everybody's comparing their body, everybody comparing how they look, what they do, to people on social media that don't even look like that in real life, or don't even act like that in real life. It's a lot of camera time play on here. And that's why I keep it so genuine, because one, I don't have time for a facade to live up to constantly and put on for this. Like, no. And then two, it's enough of that, right? We can all be ourselves and be prosperous and just excel and succeed in whatever we want to do, being genuinely us. It doesn't have to be the extra. You don't have to do all of that, right? So I feel like those are 2 common mistakes: people losing themselves and people getting caught up in overnight success. Yeah, for sure.
And it's so easy to get caught up in all of that, because Instagram is like life now, right? Instagram is life. Everybody really just can be who they want to be on Instagram. Like you said, people renting Ferraris and all type of stuff.
Yeah.
And they struggling, they don't have they don't have no money in the bank account. They really are struggling. So I think that is so important that we don't lose sight of ourselves. So important. And for business owners, how important is social media?
Whoa. So let's get into this, because I get a lot of both sides. I get a lot of people that understand how important it is, which I'll go into in a second. I get a lot of people that are like, oh, my business is survive without social media. We go off of word of mouth. We go off of this. We're brick and mortar, which is absolutely amazing. But the world is moving and it's not stopping, and we're going more digital as we speak. Social media is nearly essential. If you don't have it, within the next 3 years, you're going to be real sad if you don't get it. Because the more we move into a digital age, the less it is outside of the internet, right? Everything is accessible online with the click of a button. So why wouldn't you get on these platforms? People are asking, what's your IG, before they ask, what's your website? You know what I'm saying? They're not, people aren't even using Google anymore. They're using Instagram search. So it's like, why wouldn't you be on here? And I always tell people that give me slack too, right? About having their business on Instagram and things like that. I said, well, how did you find me? How did you find me? And I saw you on social media. Hold on. So if you saw me on social media, right, and you connected with me on social media in my business, why don't you think your audience will connect with you? If we do this strategically and I do what I'm supposed to do? And so then that gets the conversation rolling. But it's definitely essential. I encourage anybody that hasn't done their research to at least find one platform. People think you got to be on all 5, all 6. No, but you do need to have presence. So very essential. If you want that surge, and if you want to work, I tell people all the time too, the internet is a way for you to work less. Why are you busting your behind for 20 hours a day when you can sit behind your computer screen for 3 and strategically do what you need to do? So yeah, definitely essential.
And one word you said that really needs to be highlighted is strategically. Strategically do what you do behind that phone or computer, because it's so easy to get caught up scrolling all day. But I find myself on Instagram for hours, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, okay, Angel, it's time to
oh my goodness.
So it's so important a plan of action. And let's talk about, we're going to wrap it up here shortly, but I want to talk about broken.
Okay, no rush.
Because that is something that you said on the Reels to Racks webinar. You said having pretty content without strategy is broke energy. So how do you avoid broke energy?
Very broke energy.
So how do we avoid that?
How do we avoid that, you said?
How do we avoid broke energy?
Well,
Yes.
one, I always am going to advise that you guys book a call at the link in my bio for a strategy session, right? Because a lot of people think they know social media, but until you get with a professional and really figure out, hey, I just might have been doing this all wrong. It's kind of like, it's like a machine that needs to be fine-tuned if you don't go to a professional. So I always try to get you a strategy call in, but also don't get caught up in, because I remember that was one of the mistakes I made too in the beginning of this, right? I used to say, oh, this looks beautiful. I love this, or I like posting stuff like this. I like this. Oh, I like these colors. One, it's not about you, right?
Yes.
It's about your audience. And two, you have to do what's converting. Just because you like posting purple and gold, your audience might like green and yellow with a checkered background. But just because you don't like that, you're not posting it and you're not seeing the sales, right? But that's a part of the strategy, right? You have to incorporate what you like plus what they like to make the conversion happen. So just because it's pretty and just because you like it does not mean it's going to convert. And avoid that by following your numbers too. People get so like, not the vanity metrics, not the followers, the analytics. That stuff is there for a reason. Go in and look at your analytics, understand them, right? Sometimes you need a professional call to say, hey, what is this? Because Instagram analytics go far beyond you clicking insights. It goes far beyond that. So it's like, when you look at those numbers, you have to understand what you're looking for to know what converts to actually post it, right? So yeah, just be strategic as possible and don't get caught up in I like this or I want this aesthetically pleasing feed. Instagram has changed so much, it doesn't even matter about that anymore. So yeah.
Absolutely. And for the people, again, who need to book a discovery call, who may need help with their social media, let us know how they can connect with you.
Yeah, sure thing. So there's a link in my bio. You just go to that, click. It has a picture of me. It says book discovery call. Click on that and it will be an automated process all the way through.
Yes, y'all make sure y'all tap in. And we're going to talk about delegating and a team for a second.
Okay.
Because you said you had a post that said, yes, Beyonce had, it said something to this effect of, we all had, yes, we have the same 24 hours as Beyonce, but Beyonce has a team. And, and it's so true because right now, currently Love Talk does everything. And it's, it's a lot. Ooh. It's a lot. When I say a lot, it's a lot. So for business owners, how important is a team or delegating services?
Beyond. I think it's one of the most important things. And this is why I'm going to be very transparent with you guys in saying this. I was the business owner because I just really got my solid team to where I'm like, okay, everybody on this, you on this. Okay, you got this. Everybody has a job. Before I was doing everything, I was the business owner that drowned before I hired. I had work up to here. I could not handle it. I had no systems in automation. I'm just now getting that under wraps. Shout out to Debbie White Co. She's an amazing systems coach. She's about to get us hooked up. But I had no systems automation. I was doing all of the back end admin work, all of the front end work, all the content creation, single one of my clients' graphics, anything. And I got burned out. And you will too. There's two things that's going to happen when you don't hire and delegate. And there's only two ways it could go, really three. You're going to get burned out and you're going to stop, right? And that drops in inconsistency and all that. Two, you're literally going to cap your income because you only have two hands, right? It's impossible. You can't take on more clients because you can't take the three you got. When if you hire out, you can have 23, but you not ready to hire yet, or it's a trust issue or it's a money issue. Hiring and delegating is one of the most essential parts. Or three, you just gonna shut down, right? Aside from you burning out, you're gonna completely shut the business down because it will become that overwhelming. I had another post that you guys go scroll down my page and check. It has lollipops, right? And it's like one of the lollipops is full and it goes all the way down to like a little lollipop. And that's what's gonna happen to you if you don't hire and delegate. In the caption, it has like a thick caption about hiring and delegating. Because I'm an advocate for it. I drowned, you guys. I almost closed my business down because I had so many clients. And this is not to brag, but people love my work, right? They love my content. And so they didn't want to go nowhere. Oh, okay, it's okay. You take it to it's okay. I'll wait. And I'm like, no, please leave. Please leave. Like, please leave. And can I sign another contract? I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired. I literally had to take a break. And this was right before the rebrand too. take a month off to just reset and say, hey, we need a solid team, not no more subcontractors, no more, okay, you work this for 10 days and that's it. I needed a team. And I advise anybody that does not have a team, Love Talk, to get them some people that are solid. Now vet the people. Don't just hire anybody. I've been there too, where I needed somebody desperately, hired anybody. It's not going to work, because you need people with passion, drive, instinct, and intelligence. It all matters, right? It all matters. So just vet you some people and pray about it. But you need the people, right? Start out with a VA. I tell everybody your first hire should be a VA or your executive assistant, one of the two.
And speaking on that,
mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people may feel, we're going to call us solopreneurs,
right?
May be scared or don't want to delegate because their business is so close to their heart. So I love what you said about make sure that you pray about it, and then make sure that you don't just pick anybody. Make sure that you really know, do an interview, because you're the boss.
You got to, because this is your baby. And people will mess up this stuff now. I've had people steal from me, like, because I didn't do, you know what, when things like that happen, and especially when I was more of a novice, I had to blame myself because I didn't do my due diligence in hiring. I just said, okay, I need somebody so bad, this sounds good, and then that's when things go wrong. So taking your time with it, it matters, right? And that's in the whole process of business. Don't go rushing this stuff, because one, business is not an overnight thing. We're in this for the long haul. And two, as entrepreneurs, you're going to work the most you ever had in your entire life. You don't work, you don't eat. It's as simple as that. So don't go rushing and acting like you got to conquer the world tomorrow. One, it's not going to happen. And two, you're going to burn yourself out.
It's so true. And like you say, you're a testament to that. So we can use your testament and your story to know what it's like to burn out, be drowning. So thank you for sharing that with us. So for the solopreneurs who are thinking about delegating and need to hire people, but they're not in a position to right now, what are some tools and resources that you can offer them so that they can better manage time?
Sure. So a lot of people don't know, and this is free game. Shout out to whoever's watching Love Talk, about to get some free game. There doesn't have to be, you don't have to hire help that's going to cost you an immense amount of money to start. Now you must grow from this help, but you don't. There are people overseas that their conversion rate is lower, right? So you don't have to pay them as much. Now I'm not saying sweatshop these people and pay them pennies, but I am saying instead of paying somebody from here $40 an hour, there might be other options in other countries like the Philippines, South Africa, Nigeria. These are places you might be able to find your first VA and do that virtually, right? Another thing I suggest is, automations and systems coaches, they're expensive. They're worth it, but they're expensive. So go in and figure out little workflows you can do for yourself. I'm not going to lie to you, nothing beats a systems coach because they can integrate everything. And the click of a button, your stuff is just bold, right? But go find little automations that are going to help you along the way, that you don't have to go in and manually send emails to certain things. There are certain things in different CRMs. Shout out to Honeybook, Dubsado. Y'all check those out if you're not using them. ClickUp, Asana. All of these are programs that can help you do many automations that can help you before that step of hiring a systems coach. And it'll help you cover some of that click action, I like to call it, right? Before you have a VA, you're spending 1 million clicks a day on emails. That can eliminate some of that, so definitely do that as well. Another thing would be to make a prioritized work list. A lot of us don't do that. That's going to help you, and it's going to help your VA that you hire, because you're going to see what you like to do and what you absolutely do not want to do and you hate to do, right? And the process is for each. So that's another thing that I would definitely recommend.
And it makes sense that you said to look into other avenues and other things outside of just the United States, because a lot of people don't know that. Thank you for that free game. If y'all want some more, y'all need to book a discovery call, and she can definitely help y'all to scale your business.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for being here on Love Talk. But before we go, what is one of the biggest gains of hiring a social media manager like yourself?
Reclaiming your time. I can save you more time than you can even fathom, because one, I save you from the mindless scrolling, because you're not on Instagram and Facebook and all of that all day trying to figure out what to post and just ended up scrolling. You're not creating the content. That's my job. You're not thinking of the captions and, oh my God, what's the verbiage I need to use? That's my job, right? Me and my team. You are also not having to stress your own brain out on tasks that are minuscule. You need to be working on your business. Social media is somebody else's job. Social media is a full-time job, right? Yeah. So that's something that's to be delegated, not played with or done with uncertainty. So delegate that out so you can do your actual job in your business, or be the actual CEO and show up for your patients, clients, customers, whatever. And leave the rest to us. Like, don't overstress yourself on social media. It's a lot. What to post, when to post, how to post, the strategy. That's all on us. We alleviate you of all of that stress so you can reclaim your time. Shout out Maxine Waters.
Okay. And again, I know I asked you 2 more times before this, but let us know where we can find your services and book with you.
Yes, of course. So relaunch of the website in 10 days. Cross fingers. Y'all pray for us. Also, it's a link in my bio. You can click that, book a discovery call, and that is a complimentary call that allows you to align our services with what you need and see the gaps in your business, see how we can help. You also can email me at socialboss.ceo@gmail.com.
Beautiful. Again, make sure y'all tap in with her. And I ask all of my guests that come on Love Talk, what is the philosophy that you live on and stand by?
Oh, I have so many. Be you, do you, for you. Yeah. That's it. Just be yourself, man. That's all you gotta do. Be yourself and show up as you.
Especially in the Instagram world, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. In the whole digital world, okay? In the whole digital world.
Absolutely.
Okay? So I love it.
Me too. And I just want to thank you so much again for being here on Love Talk. Drop your handles so that people can go and follow you.
Okay, of course I will. So all of my handles are at Social Boss Empire. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube. No, YouTube, I take that back. YouTube is at Black Mermaid. That used to be my blog name. Shout out Black Mermaid. But at Social Boss Empire, at Black Mermaid. Also follow us on Facebook, you guys. We have some crazy good things coming to Facebook this year. We'll be having a membership group coming. I'll also have exclusive VIP events for just my Facebook crowd. So you guys be sure to follow. If you're local in Houston, Texas, also have a peep out at our page. We are coming super hard. Events are coming nearly every month. So you guys be sure to go follow that, check it out. I'm super excited. It's about to be a surge. We got a full rebrand going. So Social Boss Empire is ready for you guys, and we hope you're ready for us.
And I just want to tell you that your rebrand, the videos you posted, the pictures are beautiful. Amazing.
Thank you, sis. I'm ready to get the final one. Thank you.
Look, you did your thing. Y'all did y'all's thing, okay?
Thank you. See, that's the power of a team. I couldn't have done it by myself. Shout out to all of my team. Can I shout my team out?
Shout the team out.
Hey team. So my team, Wigs by Jay Jones, amazing hairstylist. She always hooks up the hair. The Ray Effect, she's my production assistant and sometimes stylist. Shout out Paintbox Creations, my videographer, so freaking dope. Who else? And Fairy Godmother, her name is Brandy. She is my executive assistant, literally my right hand in business. Couldn't do anything without her. And my new VA, Amanda, shout out BGE for You Enterprises. She's amazing too.
Amazing. The power of a team, right?
Hey, now, all female team, except for my videographer.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. I love it. So I just want to thank you so much again for being here on Love Talk. Thank you for everything that you do in the social media world. Thank you for being you when you go to events. Like I met you, the confidence that you exude when you're in person, when you're online. Like I said, you are the person on and offline, and I love it. Okay.
Thank you. Oh, that means so much to me. And shout out to you too. You're amazing, Angel.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. And we're definitely going to connect. I'm glad we connected. We're going to connect again. And y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for tuning into Love Talk. Good night.
Night.